Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Story Time. My name is Tara, and I'm joined today by my friend Rupert the squirrel here. Rupert's going to join us in our first story as well today at some point. Let's set him down for a moment, though, so that we can start with a song. If you would, put your hands together and give me a clap. We clap and say hello, we clap and say hello. With all our friends at story time, we clap and say hello. One more clap for you. Very good. Next, let's do a shake, shake, shake. We shake and say hello, we shake and say hello. With all our friends at story time, we shake and say hello. And one more big shake, 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 shake. Okay, and let's end with a wave. We wave and say hello, we wave and say hello. With all our friends at story time, we wave and say hello. Oh, I'm gonna wave both hands at you. Very good. Welcome and welcome back, Rupert. Rupert, he was telling me a little while ago that he was really kind of sad because he's hungry and he's missing his acorn. He said he knows it's behind one of these colorful shapes, but he doesn't remember which one. So he sings this question. Look and see, oh look and see, can you find my acorn for me? Can you sing that with him? Look and see, oh look and see, can you find my acorn for me? We sure are going to try, aren't we? Let's help him by looking under the green circle with the number 1 on it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nothing under there. Sorry, Rupert, it's just some grass. Let's do it again. Look and see, oh look and see, can you find my acorn for me? Rupert, let's try under the heart. Let's look under the red heart with the number 2 on it. 1, 2, 3. No, it's not there either, Rupert. I'm so sorry. Again, we just have some grass there. We have a number 3 and a number 4. I wonder which one we should try next. Look and see, oh look and see, can you find my acorn for me? I'm going to go in order. I'm going to go with the yellow triangle with the number 3. Let's try in 1, 2, 3. Look what we found! Oh, Rupert, we found you your delicious acorn. Oh, he's so happy. Thank you guys for finding it with him. Now he has something to munch on today. There was nothing under the 4, but all we needed was that beautiful, delicious acorn. All right, very good. That leads us to our first story today. The story is called The Nut That Fell from the Tree. That nut looks an awful lot like the acorn we just found, doesn't it? This story is by Sanjita Badra and illustrated by France Cormier. And look at those very startled looking deer. I hope it doesn't hit them on the head. The nut that fell from the tree. I'm going to move this one aside so I can see the pages a little bit better here. You're introduced to one of our little characters there. Looks like a little rat. This is the house where Jill plays. She's playing magician, isn't she? And I see a bear and a raccoon and a rat. If we get nice and close there, that's a nice tree house. This is the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. This is the nut that fell from the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. Do you hear the repetition going on there? Yeah. This is the rat looking out from a shoe that stole the nut that fell from the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. Oh, he looks a little surprised there. This is the jay with feathers of blue that swooped in on the rat looking out from a shoe that stole the nut that fell from the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. Oh goodness, there's a lot going on in this picture here. This is the goose with a bird's eye view that ruffled the jay with the feathers of blue, that swooped in on the rat looking out from a shoe, that stole the nut that fell from the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. Now who is next? Who's that with the striped tail and the stripes on his face? This is the raccoon, a sneak through and through, that tricked the goose with a bird's eye view, that ruffled the jay with the feathers of blue, that swooped in on the rat looking out from a shoe, that stole the nut that fell from the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. So much going on here. Are you able to say some of this with me each time? There are a deer from the front, aren't there? This is the doe with her fawn, peekaboo, that surprised the raccoon, a sneak through and through, that tricked the goose with a bird's eye view, that ruffled the jay with the feathers of blue, that swooped in on the rat looking out from a shoe, that stole the nut that fell from the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. Roar! This is the bear, he loves acorns too, roar! That chased the doe with her fawn, peekaboo! That surprised the raccoon, a sneak through and through, that tricked the goose with a bird's eye view, that ruffled the jay with feathers of blue, that swooped in on the rat looking out from a shoe, that stole the nut that fell from the oak that holds the house where Jill plays. Uh-oh. Who's underground there? He doesn't look very happy. He's got a little storm cloud above his head. This is a skunk that was woken up by this hullabaloo. Do you know what skunks do when they're a little upset or scared? Ooh, pee-you. And now the acorn went plop right here. Then all was cold, and all was dark, and all was still. Until, looks like the beaver didn't want that anywhere near its home. This is the sun. This is the light that came from the sun. This is the hill that shone in the light that came from the sun. And this is the nut that lay on the hill that shone in the light that came from the sun. There's my friend Rupert. He made an appearance, you see. This is a squirrel that buried the nut that lay on the hill that shone in the light that came from the sun. And that little nut grew and grew and grew. I bet it took a couple years, didn't it? This is the oak, mighty and tall, that came from the nut, sturdy and small, and now holds the house where Jack plays. And if you'll see here at the end, Jack is visited by, it looks like Grandma. And who do you think Grandma is? I see a little bear. Do you think that might be Jill from the beginning? I think she had a cape on too. Should we check? Yeah. I think it was Jack and Jill. And that is the nut that fell from the tree. All right, wonderful job listening, my friends. I think that story was so good. I would like to see if we can tell it again, but this time we're going to use some sign language. So I'm going to teach you a couple of signs, and I'm going to change some of the words a little bit so that we are able to, so it's a little easier. So I'd like to start by teaching you house. Now to do house in sign language, we're going to take our pointer fingers and we're going to draw a roof, and we're going to draw the walls of the house. So this is the house where Jill plays, is how we're going to begin. And then let's do tree. We're going to take our hand here and lay it flat. This is our ground. And we're going to take our other hand, our other arm, and just kind of, we're making, this is the tree limb. I'm sorry. This is the tree. Here are the branches. And we're going to blow in the wind. So this is the tree that holds the house where Jill plays. Now seed instead of nut. We're going to do seed. pretend you're pinching some seeds from a pouch, and then you're going to sprinkle them around in a circle. So this is the seed that fell from the tree that holds the house where Jill played. Okay, now instead of a rat, we're going to have a mouse. And for mouse, we are going to take our pointer finger and just kind of brush our nose. It makes you think about the little twitch of the nose of the mouse. So this is the mouse looking out from a shoe that stole the seed that fell from the tree that holds the house where Jill played. Now instead of a J, we're just going to say bird. And to say bird, we're going to take our thumb and our pointer finger and just do a little pinchy. That's a little beak. Put it right by your face. Make a little beak. This is the bird with feathers of blue that swooped in on the mouse, looking out from a shoe that stole the seed that fell from the tree that holds the house where Jill played. We're doing good so far. Okay, now there's a goose that's going to come along, and it's kind of like the bird. We had the little beak, but instead we're going to use the whole hand to make our beak. This is the goose with a bird's eye view that ruffled the bird with feathers of blue that swooped in on the mouse that looked out from a shoe that stole the seed that fell from the tree that holds the house where Jill played. We're getting there. Okay, now we had a striped little creature. This was a raccoon. We're going to make little V's using our pointer and our middle finger and put them in front of your eyes and just kind of pull to the side. We're making the stripes over the raccoon's face. So this is the raccoon, a sneak through and through, that tricked the goose with a bird's eye view, that ruffled the bird with feathers of blue, that swooped in on the mouse looking out from a shoe, that stole the seed that fell from the tree that holds the house where Jill played. Okay, now deer, you can probably guess this one. We want to do some antlers. So take your whole hands, put it beside your side of your head. This is the deer with her fawn, peekaboo, that surprised the raccoon, a sneak through and through, that tricked the goose with a bird's eye view, that ruffled the bird with feathers of blue, that swooped in on the mouse looking out from a shoe, that stole the seed that fell from the tree that holds the house where Jill played. Okay, now we had another big animal come along, and that was the bear. For bear, we're going to take our big claws here. We're going to cross our arms like you're giving a bear hug and kind of scratch. You got scratchy fur. This is the bear. He loves acorns too. That chased the deer with her fawn, peekaboo. That surprised the raccoon, a sneak through and through. That tricked the goose with a bird's eye view. That ruffled the bird with feathers of blue. That swooped in on the mouse, looking out from a shoe. That stole the seed that fell from the tree that holds the house where Jill played. Okay, we have one last creature, and this was the one that causes the big old stink. We're going to do skunk, and to do skunk, we're going to take our pointer and middle and kind of make a V, but we are going to put our thumb between it. That's a K in sign language, K for the end of skunk. And we're going to make a stripe starting at the front of our head and going back. So this is the skunk that was woken up by this hullabaloo, and what did it cause to happen? It caused a smelly pee-ew. Well, I hope that you learned something with that and that you're able to do that again later. It's a fun story and I liked all the different signs. Good job. I have one more story that is similar to this one in that it's called a cumulative tale, in that the story kind of builds up on itself. So this all is going to start with some gum in this little girl's hair. The story is called On Account of the Gum, which means because of the gum. It's written and illustrated by Adam Rex. And you can already see all sorts of weird stuff that is on her head. Oh, we have somebody going to bed. It looks like she's blowing a bubble right before bed, and she falls asleep. And the gum falls out of her mouth. But she wakes up and she feels something in her hair. That's the gum right there that you got in your hair. On account of the gum that you got in your hair, your dad said, "Sit still," and your sister said, "Duck," and you sat very still. Still, the scissors got stuck in the gum that you got in your hair. Okay, we went on some websites and all of them swear if you want to get scissors and gum out of here, you take 2 sticks of butter and smear them along. And, oh, I see, it appears those websites were wrong. Look at those 2 sticks of butter and the scissors and the gum. Don't give me that look. She does not look happy, does she? Your aunt says she knew how to get the gum out from this tip in a book she was reading about in the paper or something. She couldn't say where. The point is, that's why you have grass in your hair. Here comes your grandpa. Your grandpa, who said that your aunt was mistaken, is mostly to blame for the noodles and bacon. It's all in this bacony, noodly mass with the scissors, gum, hair, sticks of butter, and grass. Your rabbit eats grass. You think that's a good way to get the grass out of the hair anyway? So there's the rabbit. Because of the grass that you got in your hair, I assumed that your rabbit could help us in there, but your rabbit just sat like it thinks it's a hat. So I thought, it'll leave if I bring in the cat. I think it would be scared. Oh, I'm prepared to admit I was wrong about that. Oh, I know what to do. It's a little bit mean, but the cat always gets really scared when I clean. Just watch, she'll run off and hide under the bed if the vacuum comes anywhere close to your head. Now we have a vacuum coming, my friends. Oh my goodness gracious. And it joins the mess on her head. Wait, no, I'm thinking of the old cat. I guess the old cat was the one scared of the vacuum. Your aunt just came back and she has a new take. It's cake. She thinks she can fix things with cake. Don't worry, we stopped her and showed her the door. I doubt she'll be coming around anymore. Though the cake that she made you wound up on the floor. Is it better the floor than her head? That reminds me, happy birthday! She's having a good day for a birthday, isn't she? All right, let's get serious. This is the plan. We blow the gum out with a powerful fan. Plus, every few seconds we'll pop a balloon, and the guy with the bees said he'd get them here soon. And oh, I hear sirens. The firemen came. They complained when we called, but they came just the same. With their hoses and one of those dogs and a cop and a big pot of chili, they're ready to... Stop! Who's screaming? She doesn't want any more on her head, does she? And it's just in time. The chili was just about to come out. Get out! Please! She doesn't want all of those people in the house anymore. So there they go. Out the front door, the fireman, the guy with the bees. Jeez. What's that? That little pink thing hopping out. Rude. It looks awfully sticky and pink and gum-like. So that's the solution. Well, what do you know? Too bad about all of the rest of it, though. The rest of the stuff that's still stuck in your hair? Whoop! Now your aunt is all stuck up in there. How'd that happen? She's a little bit bigger than the gum. Anyway, you'd better get to school. School? Because otherwise you're going to miss picture day. On account of the gum. Can you imagine getting your picture taken at school with all of that in your hair? Oh my goodness. What a day on account of the gum. Very nice, my friends. Good job. And that was the end of story time today, except for our final song. And I like to sing bread and butter. We had some butter in that story. And let's do a little pat or a clap. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as fast as we can. Goodbye. That's the easiest one to do. Goodbye. And then let's do slow. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as slow as we can. Goodbye, friends. Let's do 2 more ways. Let's do it as high as we can. Can you do a high-pitched voice? Kind of sound like a squeaky mouse. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as high as we can. Goodbye! And then low. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as low as we can. Goodbye. And nicely. That's just a great way to end it. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as nice as we can. Goodbye. I hope that you enjoyed our stories today. And I hope that you're able to do some of our story that we did in sign language, the house that Jill played in. All right. Have a good day, my friends. Goodbye.